Welcome to KimmelsIrishPub.com. Time for another movie review. I'm pretty excited about this. So are you, because you clicked on it. You know what it is. It's Only the Brave. So I was excited. I'm very excited to see this. It's about firefighters. You know, and if you've seen any of my other reviews, the military, the firefighters, the police, all these people who protect us. I just love stories about that. And this is based on a true story. It's based on the Granite Mountain Hotshots, and they're a group of firefighters who basically risk their lives to save their town from a historic wildfire. So, you know, anytime firefighters go in there and risk their lives for other people all the time. Incredible men and women who protect us. So I'm really excited about this, and obviously it was a good film. 8.0 IMDb, yeah, right. Rotten Tomatoes 88%. From the critics and 93% from the audience. This movie stars Josh Brolin, Miles Teller, big fan, Jeff Bridges, Jennifer Connelly, Taylor Kitsch, big fan of him as well, and numerous other well-built, good-looking men. So if you're into that, I'm sure this is going to be good. But yeah, there's not like a bad profile here. Don't recognize many other names, but I'm sure I'll see them when they get on the big screen. So, as I said, I'm very excited about this movie. I have very high expectations. So should you. Obviously, the ratings are there. It's about, you know, one of my favorites, and so, and again, I think I mentioned it, but about a true story. So we know the very minimal synopsis. I'll get into it a little bit more, and I'll come back and I'll tell you more about it. You might get a couple of check-ins on this one. It's 2 hours and 14 minutes. You know, watching all these terrible movies that I'm putting out there, they're an hour, hour and a half. You know, this is 2 hours and 14 minutes of pure joy, I'm hoping. All right, I'll be back in a little. Hey everybody, do a quick check-in here. We're watching Only the Brave. I did a quick check-in. I had to pause it for another reason, so I thought I'd stop and talk to you all. We're at the 36-minute and 26-second mark, so not too far into the movie. Still hour and 37 minutes left, but essentially Josh Brolin has started, in a sense, their own firefighting unit, I guess is what it is. But they have to be certified in order to get, like, I guess, real jobs, in a sense. I don't completely understand it, but they're not an official firefighting unit just yet. They just have to be evaluated and then certified, because in the opening scene they show a forest fire, and it seems like the California firefighters come in and put out the fire and tell them to mop up after them. They're like the city firefighters, but again, they're not official yet. So they're working on that. They have an opportunity to become certified and then be evaluated, all that kind of stuff. So a little bit there, I don't quite understand it, but you get the point. They are recruiting for other firefighters, and that's where Miles Teller comes in. So he first is a crack addict that happened to get a girl pregnant, gets in a little trouble, goes to jail, all that kind of stuff, but is trying to get on the right path now. So he has applied to become a firefighter, and Josh Brolin kind of throws him a bone and invites him in as part of the rookies. And they're going through that part now. So there's, you know, they're doing training and being tested, and you can see how he could struggle with all of this. So we're going to see how this plays out. But that's where we are so far. A lot of development, a lot of character development. Josh Brolin is married to Jennifer Connelly. She is either a horse trainer or a veterinarian. I think it's more horses, taking care of horses and stuff like that. So, you know, there's a little character development there. And Miles Teller, as I told you, and a whole bunch of other actors. Taylor Kitsch is in this. He doesn't like Miles Teller so far. So, anyway. Enough about that. I'm going to get back into it a little bit more, and hopefully have some more interesting stuff to share with you. So, hey everybody, want to do a quick check-in here, watching Only the Brave, 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 58 seconds. So there's only 32 minutes left, so I thought I'd quick stop it before. I feel it needs another quick check-in. I won't be too long, but it is really good. So first of all, what are hotshots? I had to determine that. So hotshots are basically, they fight the wildfires, you know, forest fires and things like that, out in the West Coast and things like that. And what they do, they're like the Navy SEALs of firefighters. So they're highly trained, extremely physically fit, very intelligent, very talented firefighters that go out and fight these fires. And what they do, at least what I'm seeing in the movie, is they change the direction of the fire. So they don't go out with water and things like that, and they go out and they draw a line, essentially. So what it seems like, they don't define this, but it's just through observation that they, wherever they want the fire to stop and go a different direction, they're going to dig a big trench and line it off like that, and then they're going to start a fire going the other direction. So the fire's coming this way towards me, they're going to start it going that way, so it kind of burns it off, as they say. So you're like kind of, I think what happens is when you burn the fire that way towards the actual fire, the fire has nothing to burn back, so it stops. I think that's what's happening, and you kind of direct it to where you want to go, and you just line it off and fight it the way you can. That's what it seems like to me. So it's pretty amazing on what they do. I mean, they're out there fighting the fire right in its face without any water or anything like that, and they're highly trained, very skilled. So pretty neat to watch. But the movie is about, not these hotshots, but their lives as well. So there's evidently, and I didn't notice, there's a fire season. So there's a season where these fires start up more than likely probably in the summer, out on the West Coast. They're stationed in Arizona, so they fight all the fires within that area. I believe they have a certain amount. I mean, they could go all over the country, I believe, but they're pretty much staying within Arizona. There's enough for them to do, but they have a season so that they're constantly fighting fires for a lot of times, and because of that, their home life, their family life suffers. So Josh Brolin is married to Jennifer Connelly, as we talked about, and he's not seeing her enough, and they're not making a family at this point. He's out fighting fires, so there's putting a strain on their marriage. And then Miles Teller, as I said, had gotten a girl pregnant, but he's gotten back into good graces. He's with the child, spending some time with her and with the mother of the child. I don't know if they're boyfriend or girlfriend at this point yet, but there's a scene where the child cries when she goes to Miles Teller. I thought that was pretty neat how they did that. And the reason that's happening is because he's been gone for like 3 or 4 months, and she doesn't recognize him. So you can see that this part of the job is really impacting their home life, their family life, and they have to make decisions on what they want to do. Do they want to continue to be a hot shot, or go do something else? And that's the type of thing that's happening right now in the movie. They've just been called out to another firefight where Josh Brolin and Miles and Teller have previously been contemplating what they want to do going forward, and this seems like the final fire for the movie. I'm not sure what's going to happen, and I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's so far so good, very entertaining. I didn't realize it was almost over. There was 30 minutes left. Luckily I checked, and that's why I wanted to do a quick check-in. I think that's it for now. Like I said, I wanted to keep this one short, but I'll jump back in at the credits and catch you up on anything that you might have missed. I won't spoil the movie for you, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright? See you in a bit. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Only the Brave, and that was the Yarnell fire was the final fire of the movie. So it's a very good movie. One of the things, I don't know how much you know about the Granite Mountain hotshots. I knew nothing about it, obviously. I was learning as I was going along and hopefully educating you. But if you don't know anything about it, I wouldn't research it. I would watch this movie first. And that made it so much better for me. Because you don't know. I mean, I think if you research it, you might, get an idea of what's going to go on and what's going to happen. And in this case, I had no clue. And so, that made it better for me. Now I'll probably go look at it a little bit more. But very interesting story, as I had said. I wasn't even sure what hotshots were. I knew that there were these brave firefighters who went out and fought these types of fires, but how and in what way, and this really shows you how they do it, and how they put their life on the line to stop these fires from hitting these towns, and then the way that they do it I thought was very interesting, very educational, and then the whole story behind it, and it's based on a true story. I'm sure some of it's dramatized, on the family stuff and things like that, but definitely very interesting. All these firefighters are young. Like I had said, they're best at their their craft there. They're the SEALs of the firefighters, and very good movie. I'm going to give it an 8 overall. I don't want to go into too much more detail. I think I've told you pretty much everything you need to know without spoiling it for you. I urge you to watch this movie. This is not one that you have to wait for it to come on HBO while you're sleeping. This is one that you can go ahead out and rent and enjoy. One thing I forgot to mention was the whole, if you remember I said about Taylor Kitsch's character and Miles Teller. When Miles Teller applied to start wanting to join the fire company, they didn't get along. Well, you know, they do start getting along. Yeah, as you can imagine, I think everybody in those tight crews, you know, when you're talking 20 firefighters, they have to rely on each other. They become close, you know, just like they do in the military and everything like that. So that was another aspect of it that I liked. I always liked that camaraderie. And the other, I mean, great thing about this was like the scenery, the landscape, the cinematography was incredible. Great views, you know, looking out at it, and you know, all the way up until the end, they showed a lot of great views. I mean, sure, there were some with fires in them, and that wasn't a great view, but prior to, you know, the fire starting and things like that, great scenery, made it very visually pleasing, and the acting was pretty good. You know, Jennifer Connelly, I don't know, but everybody else, I mean, whatever. You didn't think about it, you just enjoyed the movie. So that's what I contribute to good acting. When you're not even thinking about how good the acting is, and it just flows. So, alright, that's enough for me. I think you have enough information to make that decision on your own and go ahead and watch this movie. And if you do, let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.